Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. It's Vanessa Given Swalize again, the lead formulator for Nestle Glam. I know it's been a while since we made a video. This is because we have been so busy. In fact, we've been making products for so many companies right now, and in case you don't know, we also do private labeling. Okay, so in today's video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a perfect anti-aging, antioxidating skin lightening face soap. Okay, now this skin lightening face soap is very good. You can use it for yourself, you can use it for your mom, your dad, any other person that you know that is a little bit aged, but you know, you don't always call them old. Don't call them old, they're just aged. Okay, so I'm going to be using this particular soap. It's known as the Asante rice milk soap with collagen. Now rice milk is very good for the skin. It really does help the skin to you know, tightens the skin, firms it up, and makes it so nice. It makes it so beautiful, young and sweet, and it has phytic acid. So instead of just adding normal phytic acid, I'm sorry, we're outdoors making this particular product right now. This is because I want the natural light. I want everything to be clear here before we start the video. So phytic acid in rice will definitely help the skin to get firm and tight, and also the product also claims to have collagen in it, and I guess this is true because I have actually used this soap before. It's been awesome, just like this, but I noticed that it is quite drying. Okay, it is quite drying, and this is why I'm mixing it right now with another one. This is also the Jam rice milk soap. It is also a very nice face soap. I like to use this particular soap to a whole lot in my product. And another beautiful part is that these soaps are very okay. They are tested and they have been tried, but I did notice that these soaps are quite drying. All right, they do lighten up and they do brighten up the skin, but it is really drying. It is really drying. So I'm just going, I have actually gotten the quantity that I want to use. This is how the rice milk soap looks like, and this is the quantity we're going to be using. So because it is quite drying, I got this glycerin base soap. You can use a normal glycerin base soap if you're making yourself. Good for you. You can also use the one you're making yourself. So get a glycerin base soap. It is a transparent base soap that you know. Now we're adding this to these soaps because glycerin will also help with moisture. It is also going to help with you know, hydrating the skin, making it very soft for you. So after you have used this soap and this is inside the soap, it will make it feel less drying. Okay, so this is an awesome tip. If you want your bar soaps, maybe you're the one that does melt and pour, this is melt and pour. If you want to make your black soap, I'm sorry, if you want to make your bar soap feel less drying, always add a glycerin base to it instead of pouring normal glycerin to it. Okay, so add a glycerin base to it. So I know you've been wondering what color or what particular ingredient is this. Now this is a blueberry extract. Blueberry extract is very good for the skin. It's a powerful anti-aging ingredient. It also has powerful antioxidant in it. So we're going to be using this very well. It also helps with skin brightening. So we're going to use this inside our soap. And also this is the mulberry extract too. This mulberry extract is also very good with skin lightening. It also helps to get rid of blemishes. So it's a powerful, beautiful agent or ingredient for this soap. And here we have loads of humectant. So this has propylene glycol, it has glycerin, and it also has raw honey. So if you're using this, you need to melt this particular bar soaps with this guy here. Okay, and this is why we're using this solvent. It's going to be acting as our diluent, what we're going to be using to melt this. We cannot use water to melt the soap, okay, because if you use water, it would not make it get beautiful anymore. It's just going to make it really you know, very slimy or so. So just use a humectant, okay? Use loads of it if you want to, you have to. So this is going to be very nice. It's going to be less drying. If you want to add any serum, please, when you add a serum, make sure that you're adding beeswax. If you feel like the soap is not that hard already, you can add beeswax inside it so that it gets harder. But notice when you add beeswax, it will also reduce, it will pull down the lathering process of this. Okay, so we're going to get to this right now. We're just adding the scale here so that we weigh out all the ingredients effectively again. So now at this phase, I'm just going to slice off the soap bases inside the beaker. You can use any sort of base for any sort of method for this. So one beautiful thing that I like about this soap is that you can basically see the rice residues inside it. This simply means that it contains rice. It is really rice. I have confirmed this. So it is a very nice soap that you can use. I'm actually talking about the jam soap right now. Now, after we have done doing this, initially, I actually wanted to put this in the crock pot so that it gets really hot, but I changed my mind. So please help me out with the stainless bowl. We're going to be using the stainless bowl instead for this step. I'm just going to use it to melt off this one, but you can also put this in a double boiler if you wish. All right, I'm just going to put it in direct heat and melt it. It's going to be on direct low heat, and it'll turn out great and nice. So this is how it actually looks like. You can see it's been shredded for you know, in thin layers. You can use your normal small sharp pen knife, but you have to be very careful. Make sure you're using something. But now this is an awesome tip I'm going to be doing. This blueberry, it's not really soluble in normal bases like this, so you need to add it to your glycerin base before you add it inside, or else you're going to end up with so many lumps. Okay, so I'm going to be adding it gradually inside the humectant. All right, so you add it gradually and then you stir really well so that it dissolves very well and fast for you. You add it gradually and then you dissolve really well. So you can see what I'm doing right now. It's very much easy, because if you just add it directly to the soap bases, it wouldn't really melt well. So you need to add this first. So in case you're asking where you can get this powder from or where you can get this extract from, you can actually get it from skinfood.com.ng. They're really good and very efficient. I've been using them for a while right now, and I get all my supplies like right there. So you see, we have a beautiful extracted humectant. All right, so this phase, or at this point, I'm going to apply it inside the soap base so that it aids. It helps with getting it really well and really fast inside, and it melts it off immediately. So you want to really scoop out this. Please, can I have a smaller spatula? Thank you. So sorry, we're working outside, so I'm just going to get every bit of this in the product. Then once we're done with this step, we're going to heat it up. Okay, and heating it up is very easy. Just put it directly on direct heat and leave it to melt off a bit. All right, so I'll be coming back with the melted version of this. Now, once this is done melting off, you want to add the glycerin soap base. You don't want to add this glycerin soap base directly right now, because it's just going to burn off inside. So you want to leave it, you want to leave this to melt off first. Once it has melted, you can then add the glycerin soap base inside it to aid with further melting. All right, so that it gets a little bit liquidy. Okay. So while this is going to be melting, I'm mixing it really well so that it melts fast. So once it is melting, or once it has, so while it's melting, I'm going to prepare the molds for this. So now I'm going to be preparing this molds by adding little oil inside it. So I'm just going to basically add oils inside this. I have done that already. Just use oils inside the molds, you know, put it a bit, very like a drop, and apply it so that the soap can easily come out from the molds. So this is how you do it. You just put like a drop or a tiny bit and then you apply it inside the mold. Just rub oil inside your mold. You don't need too much oil. Any oil can do, but don't use groundnut oil. Don't use any. You can use sunflower oil or even normal paraffin. Okay. So this has been prepared already. I'm just going to drop it aside so that when we're done with every single thing, we're going to pour it inside our molds. So having to have melted our soap base, you can see how lovely it looks. It's giving us a very, very beautiful purple color. This is a berry soap. It has not effectively melted like really, really well. So please, I'm begging, do not add the powder after you have melted the soap. It wouldn't make sense at all. So at this stage, you're going to add the glycerin soap base. It is even going to help further melt this soap very, very well. And while we add this, we're going to add the other mulberry powder. Now that mulberry powder is one beautiful skin lightening agent here, and we're going to add it to this same container we used before. So when we add it here, we're going to stir in very, very well. So we're adding it to the same containers because we want it to we want to scrap every single thing. We want to scrape everything out. We don't want any little residues to remain and we throw it away, but don't want to waste ingredients. So you just want to do every single thing, within your possible best to get everything done. Also, these ingredients are very much expensive. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing right now. Now, if you're quite worried that this soap is not going to get hard, it will get really hard. So if you don't like the results later on, you can then go ahead and remelt it and add your beeswax. Okay, so this is very percentages, so check the description box. Okay, so at this beautiful phase, we're going to mix this up really well. You can use your stick blender for this step, or you could just leave it so that everything melts off really fast. Okay, so I'm going to leave this. I'm going to remelt this again so that the glycerin base soap melts off well. I'll get back to you. All right, so with much ado, this is the result for the soap. So you want to be fast about it by pouring it inside a mold. All right, don't delay while pouring it in your mold, or else it will get really, really hard even before you start to pour it inside your mold. All right, so if you notice it's even getting hard already, so try your best to make sure it is inside the molds like really, really, really fast. All right, so this is berry soap if you want, and this is basically it. So if you want this to get really hard in no time, then you can also try putting it in your chiller or in your freezer. It's going to get really hard in no time. You can use this on your face and your neck. It will help with hyperpigmentation, and it's a very lovely, beautiful products. Now, if you want to add fragrance, make sure you're using a glycerin based soap that doesn't have any fragrance in it, so that you can add more fragrance to your product. But make sure that if you're adding fragrance inside your product, it will make the soap sink a little bit, so it may make it really, really, really less hard. So you want to make sure that it is quite hard. Okay, and that means you shouldn't add too much of it. So almost immediately this has gotten hard already, but I'm just going to add it to, I'm just going to put the rest inside the freezer. But it's because this is a rough one, that is why I just brought it out like immediately. So you can see the oil in it made sure that it is it blops out from the molds easily. And it has a very beautiful fragrance. Honestly, it has a very, very beautiful fragrance to it. So you can add any sweet berry smelling, beautiful, lovely fragrance of your choice, but please add in a very, very low quantity. Don't add in a higher quantity. But this is exactly how it looks like after every single thing.